Albert Michelson and Edward Morley proved that the luminiferous ether, a theoretical medium in the universe devised to explain light's travel through space, to be non-existent. Through experimentation, Michelson realized that the speed of light is unchanging, a discovery that, for the first time, contradicted Newton's laws. In 1900, Max Planck revealed his quantum theory, which suggested that energy is released in individual packets called quanta. This challenged the accepted belief that light could only exist in the form of a wave. In 1905, Albert Einstein released his paper, which outlined his special theory of relativity. This theory showed that the speed of light is unchanging and supreme, meaning that nothing can travel faster than it. In his equation E equals mc squared, Einstein displayed the equivalence of energy and mass, explaining that in all matter lies immense amounts of energy. Einstein's general theory of relativity claimed that space and time are relative to the velocity of an object and its observer. These effects increase with the speed of either object. This theory disregarded the accepted belief that time was absolute and instead claimed that time is a part of space and acts as a variable that can be warped by massive objects. While tracking distant stars, astronomer Vesto Slipher noticed that they seemed to be traveling away from Earth, an early inkling that the universe was not static. Edwin Hubble discovered that the universe is expanding, and that the galaxy's rate of expansion is proportional to its distance from Earth. The further away the galaxy, the faster it moves. Although his original intentions were innocent, Thomas Magley Jr. discovered and profited from two of the most harmful products ever to be marketed, tetraethyl lead and CFCs. The Ethyl Gasoline Corporation produced mass amounts of tetraethyl lead, which was added to gasoline. As the corporation's profits increased, so did the corrupt nature of the company due to their attempts to cover up the dangerous working conditions resulting from lead exposure. By studying the lead levels in accumulated layers of ice in northern climates, Claire Patterson proved that increased production of lead threatened the atmosphere and worked to discontinue the sale of leaded gasoline. CFCs and the addition of ethyl to gasoline were legally banned, but the previously released substances continue to harm the ozone layer. William Livy discovered that all living organisms contain carbon-14, which begins to decay when they die. In a process called radiocarbon dating, Livy measured the amount of decayed carbon-14 in a dead organism, and using the isotope's half-life, calculated the organism's age. Using the limited budget allotted to geology in the mid-1900s, Arthur Holmes predicted the Earth was at least 3 billion years old. Harrison Brown hired Claire Patterson to use his method of counting lead isotopes in igneous rocks to discover their age, and more importantly, the age of the Earth. After 7 years of patient measuring, Patterson announced the Earth was about 4,550 billion years old. In 1911, C.T.R. Wilson invented the particle detector, which supported the theory of the existence of subatomic particles. Murray Gell-Mann discovered that protons, neutrons, and other particles controlled by the strong nuclear force were made of even smaller particles called quarks. The Standard Model was developed to sort the subatomic particles and the forces that govern them. Superstring theory proposes that subatomic particles exist as strings of energy that oscillate in 11 dimensions, consisting of the known 3, time, and 7 that remain undiscovered. The theory of existence of undetectable dimensions suggests the possibility of a universal law connecting the gravitational and quantum laws. After realizing the amount of measured matter in the universe falls short of the amount needed to support it, Fritz Zwicky introduced the possibility of dark matter, undetectable matter that fills 90% of the universe. In recent years, scientists discovered that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. Dark energy, an unidentifiable force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe, is widely believed to exist alongside dark matter. German meteorologist Alfred Wegener developed the theory that at one time all the continents were joined in a single massive landmass he called Pangaea. In 1944, Arthur Holmes published Principles of Physical Geology, where he outlined his continental drift theory. Henry Hess discovered that at the center of the Atlantic lies a central drift. On one side, the ocean crust moved towards Europe, and on the other, towards North America. Once the crust reaches the continents, it submerges back into the Earth. This phenomenon, known as seafloor spreading, was almost entirely ignored. Using recent magnetic studies of the ocean floor, Drummond Matthews and Fred Vine suggested that in addition to the ocean crust, the continents were also in motion. This idea was finally accepted in 1964, and the term plate tectonics was coined shortly after. Plate tectonics explain multiple geological mysteries, including earthquakes, the carbon cycle, mountain positions, ice ages, and surface dynamics. Overall, the theory revealed the characteristics of the Earth below us and how this affects the past, present, and future of life on our planet.